All right, let's hit the field.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Today is Saturday, July 20th, and the Yankees were taking on the Rays in Game 2 of a 4-game set. Nestor Cortes on the mound, trying to make it 2 wins in a row. My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
You watch the game? I mean, didn't it suck? It sucked.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium,
New York City.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
That was a rough one. That was a tough one, ladies and gentlemen. Tough, good old-fashioned, passionate ass-whooping on the part of the Tampa Bay Rays over the New York Yankees. The Rays delivered a 9-1 victory, and the Yankees pretty much dominated on both sides of the ball this afternoon. Did not look good. Not a good day for Nestor Cortes. Not a good day for Yankees pitchers. And once again, they failed to put together any kind of rally the few times that they did have men on base. So, very tough day. Very, very tough day. Welcome back. I was hoping that last night's win would, spark a little bit of momentum for the second half. And that could still happen. We could still pick up a series win or, get off to a good start in the second half. But in baseball, momentum is ultimately as strong as your next day's starting pitcher. And today, Nestor Cortes did not have it. We'll talk more about him in just a second. But this is one of those games that, fit into the flush it down the toilet category. Completely dominated on both sides of the ball. Offensively, the Yankees were completely overwhelmed, overmatched by Taj Bradley, who allowed just 1 hit in 7 innings. He did walk 2, 5 strikeouts, lowered his ERA to 2.63, so having a very nice year. The Yankees pitching, serving up meatballs all day long. Hot and fresh, free souvenir day. So, a couple of positives. One, Soto continues to hit. He had 4 hits last night. He had a triple today, so the hand is probably okay. Volpe had another double. Carlos Narvaez picked up his first major league hit, so congrats to him on that. But not a lot of positives for Yankees fans to take away from this one. And a lot of it has to do with Nestor Cortes, who had another miserable day. He got tagged for 3 home runs. His ERA is up to 3.99 on the season. Breaking ball had 0 bite whatsoever. Just 1 strikeout. Only 5 swings and misses. How many pitches did he throw? 92 pitches and only 5 swings and misses. That's not good. He allowed 8 hits. He allowed 6 earned runs in just 4 1/3 innings. First couple of innings, he was okay. He kind of ran into some trouble early on, but he pitched out of it. And then, the bottom came out in the 4th inning. He gave up a run in the 3rd and then a couple of home runs in the 4th. So it was just, or that was a 3-run home run in the 4th and then a couple of home runs in the 5th. So just an awful day for Nestor Cortes. Home runs by Paredes, Arozarena. He walked the number 8 and 9 hitters. You walk Walls, who's hitting 154 with a 476 OPS. That just can't happen. You can't allow that guy to score. Mike Bragg says he is done with Nestor. I think Nestor is ticketed for the bullpen when we get Clark Schmidt back. It's worth noting that he's thrown 119 and 2/3 innings this year, which is almost double what he pitched last season, 63 and 1/3 innings. His major league high was 158 back in 2022, but to me, he just looks completely worn out. 19 home runs allowed already, most he's allowed in his career. And it's worth mentioning that Clark Schmidt is on the horizon. He threw a bullpen today. Meredith Marakovitz said that he was ecstatic, basically, about how the ball came out of his hand. That's got me amped. He was phenomenal before he got hurt, 2.52 ERA. There's a good chance that when he comes back, Nestor is the spot that he takes in the rotation. Especially if Luis Gil is still throwing the ball well. So a very, very tough day from Nestor Cortes. DJ LeMahieu went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He is now hitting 177 with a 472 OPS. Those numbers are bad. Real conversation needs to be had about whether he can continue to take at-bats for this team in a pennant race. On the telecast, Paul O'Neill, who usually knows his stuff about hitting, I trust him completely when it comes to evaluating hitters, although he did say Oswald Peraza was going to hit 330. But anyway, he basically said that DJ is just a little bit late, but he's been consistently late for a while now. And that means one of two things. Either his timing is messed up because of some kind of a mechanical issue, or his reaction time is just slower than it ever has been previously. It's not out of the question that he can turn it around. He did last year, but it's entirely fair to wonder if this is just the beginning of the end for him. At one time, he was a great hitter, but every great hitter at some point takes a step back. And, he's 35 years old, and he's at an age where hitters kind of decline. Jeter was 36 when he had his first real, dip in batting average, down to 270, which was the lowest of his career at that point. Timing was a huge issue for him that year. Robinson Cano was 35 when he hit 303. When he was 36, he hit 256. Now, there was some steroid stuff in there, take that as you will. Mark Teixeira began his decline at 33. Bernie Williams began his decline at 34. So he's right in that age range where you have to wonder if it's just a slump or if it's the reaction time beginning to go. And it's just ground ball after ground ball and strikeout after strikeout and weak at bat after weak at bat. So it's been very tough to watch the downfall of DJ LeMahieu. And the Yankees have to decide here over the next couple of weeks whether or not they want to keep giving him at bats. They got to make that decision very soon. There's not a lot of third basemen out there, but there are some. We got some new content coming tonight. We got the StatCast report. It's going to be focused around Ben Rice. So, one of the things that I love to do, and I rarely get the chance to do anymore because we're not doing, highlights as much, is just straight up edit video. Like, just be really creative with all that. And when this channel began, I used to do a ton of that. But as it's morphed into a podcast, I've kind of missed that aspect of the work. So I brought in Aiden, who was with another channel. I liked his commentary, and, we thought about putting together kind of a fun, informative, and digestible take on some of the advanced metrics. So tonight at 7 p.m., we're launching the StatCast report. The primary focus is on Ben Rice, but there's some other stuff in there too. I got a couple of cameos, but mostly it's Aiden. So tune in for that. I hope you enjoy it. Aiden did a hell of a job. And I got to say, not to toot my own horn, but I got an eye for talent here. We got Frankie behind the scenes. We got Terrence, our West Coast host. And then we've got Aiden bringing in some of the modern analytics. So tune in for that. It's going to be fun. 7 p.m. It's going to be a lot more fun than this game. Let's go ahead and buzz through the recap because this was not...
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
This was not a great performance by the Yankees, who lost 9-1. Nestor worked into and out of trouble in the first, dropped down sidearm to pick up a big strikeout, and I thought, he might be feeling it now. Ben Rice began the Yankees' offense with a booming double into the right field gap, but he got stranded, and that was the Yankees' only hit for about 6 innings. So it was just a domination from start to finish by the Rays. Rays got on the board first in the third inning leadoff walk, and then a booming double off the left field wall. After that, it was basically home run derby. Top of the fourth, they got a soft hit, a walk to the 154 hitter, and then 3-run home run by the number 9 hitter, Alex Jackson. Another home run from Isaac Paredes made it 5-0. And then Randy Rosarena hit a couple of 2-run home runs. And it was officially Souvenir Baseball Day at Yankee Stadium.
Hey, try not to give up any home runs on the way through the parking lot. Hey, you, get back here.
The Yankees wasted a couple of runners on base in the 8th inning. Soto tripled. Carlos Narvaez picked up his first hit as a major leaguer. But the Yankees come up short. 9-1.
We'll get him next time.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
If you ain't first, you're last.
The Boy Wonder 212 says, what do you think about Verdugo? I think he's in a bad slump, man. He is not looking good lately. I mentioned it on the voicemail show this morning, which we put out, I don't know, around 10:30 or so. So if you get a chance, go back and watch that. He was basically working the count much better early in the season, and now he's swinging at bad pitches. He's, swinging early in the count. He's trying to pull everything. And he's just a different hitter than he was earlier in the year, and he's just not effective right now. This lineup could definitely use Giancarlo Stanton back in it just for the, danger that he brings. But I just hope he doesn't go into a huge slump when we start. Yeah, Jackson, the catcher, 082 batting average when he hit that home run. I mean, this was just like one of those games where everything that could go wrong went wrong. Nestor didn't have it. We didn't hit. We didn't get any breaks. It was just one of those games we talk about all the time, how you're going to win 50 and you're going to lose 50, and then it's what happens with the other 62 games. This is one of the ones that was always going to be part of the 50 losses. Just played like absolute doo today. Only positive for me is that, well, there's a couple. Soto continues to smoke the baseball, so he's had 2 good games in a row. 1 for 4 today, but big triple. Hit it hard the other way. He hit another one hard down the line. It got caught. And then Volpe with another opposite field double. So I think I have him listed as having 19 doubles. Yes, so 19 doubles. That's pretty solid for this point in the season. So he's probably going to have 25, 27 doubles. The power hasn't been there this year. I think he's only got 6 home runs. He's hitting 248. You'd like him to hit a little bit higher, but still 39-point increase on his average year over year. If he can get close to that next year, he's a 270 hitter. I wouldn't mind if he hit a couple of more home runs, but I like what he's doing today. Lining the ball into the right field gap using his wheels. So, Mr. Smith says every game matters, and another guy says, we can't afford to lose. Look, you're going to lose sometime. Even the best teams lose, 3 out of 10. So what you got to do is try and win series. And the Yankees have a 4-game series. Players hate 4-game series because they're difficult to win. Oftentimes you split 2-2. But if you can take 3 out of 4 at home from the Rays, you'll take it. Not going to be easy. Rays are a good team. I mean, they're playing the Yankees tough. And tomorrow we've got Marcus Stroman versus Shane Baz. Shane Baz 0-1 with a 5.23 ERA. Marcus Stroman 7-4 with a 3.51. And then on Monday, Zach Little, who is 3-6 with a 4.26, against Carlos Rodon. 9-7 with a 4.63. I'm not looking forward to that one. So, got to win tomorrow, in my opinion. Tomorrow's the game you got to win. I guess you could win Monday, but not going to be easy. So, let's get to some comments here.
What do you hear? What do you say?
The Boy Wonder says, do you think that we need a prototypical leadoff man? I was hoping that Volpe would be that guy. There was a point this season where he was getting on base every day. He had like a 33-game on-base streak. As a leadoff man, you want to get on base to set up the guys in the middle of your order. Soto, Judge, hopefully Stanton soon. I think Rice would be better in the middle of the order or like bottom third of the order where he's a power threat. Sure, he's, he takes pitches and he has good at-bats a lot of times, but he's not hitting great since he moved to the leadoff spot. He had another tough day today. Despite the double, he is now hitting, and I'll pull this number up, pull up the box score here real quick. He's now hitting 218, 778 OPS though, and this is part of the StatCast report that's coming out later. He's actually got expected stats that are somewhat better. He's hit some balls hard that, would normally be hits, but he's had some bad luck. But I think, a prototypical leadoff hitter who's on base a ton, has a little bit of speed, would be nice. I thought John Birdie at one point was going to be that guy, but he can't stay healthy. Volpe stepped up and had a really nice stretch, but he's come back down to earth. Gleyber Torres, they've tried a few times. He's obviously not the guy, hitting 232. Verdugo's hit leadoff a few times. I don't know what you do. Some people are suggesting Soto batting first and then Judge back into the familiar number 2 hole. I don't hate it because at least Soto gets on base. But I would rather have somebody in the number 1 spot who gets on base, has a little bit of the hit tool, and, like you said, more prototypical. Jeffrey Cole says, we have to get rid of double play LeMahieu. DJ having a tough year. And I don't see any signs that it's going to get better because it's just ground ball after ground ball. It's swing and miss. It's swinging at sliders away. His reaction time seems bad. He's having trouble identifying pitches. He's had injuries the last few years. Would not shock me if he has another phantom IL trip, you know? Maybe that foot's barking a little bit. But the Yankees need to get a third baseman because they cannot keep running this guy out there and dealing with absolutely no production. Now, I will say this. He's picking it at third base. Is Oswaldo Cabrera the answer? I mean, some people might say so. He's only hitting .237 with a .626 OPS, so slightly better, marginally better, but I don't think ultimately the answer. Roberto Santos says, it's pretty obvious that Boone hates Cabrera. He should be playing instead of LeMahieu. So there's a couple of things. There's a couple of reasons that I don't agree with that. I'm going to say that's just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
I don't think that there's any kind of malice on Boone's part. I think he's trying to give a veteran who's got 2 batting titles every opportunity to find it and get going. And, DJ is a veteran. He's respected in the clubhouse. You want him performing well. He makes a lot of money, $15 million, as opposed to Cabrera. That, you can say it's not a factor, but it's a factor. Guy who makes more money is going to play more often. But, Cabrera hasn't really seized his opportunities since early on this season. He had that great start, but he's fallen off. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. It's not a limited sample size. He's had 215 at-bats. 215 at-bats. He's got a .286 on-base percentage. His last 15 games, he's hitting .241. A couple of RBIs. So slightly better. Last 30 games, .215. For his career, a sample size of 667 at-bats. He's hitting .228. You can't just hand that guy the third base position. Now, if he seizes it and starts hitting, sure, you let him play. But he just hasn't done enough to take over that position. You could say, has DJ done enough to lose that position? And it's getting, I think so, sure. But I'm not sure Cabrera's the answer either. Yanks have some work to do. Let's get to final thoughts.
Ball is high, it is far, it is gone.
Lori C says, we had Donaldson last season and DJ now. Almost every year there's going to be at least 1 or 2 guys who are just over the hill. Clingers on. Their last productive years are behind them. And they're still under contract. And, it's just business. The business of baseball is you have to eat those contracts. I know Hal doesn't like to pay guys not to be on the team anymore. And these contracts are guaranteed. But, at some point, you have to call a spade and say, this guy's not getting it done. Anyway, somebody says call him DP LeMahieu. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tough day. Reminder, tune into the StatCast report tonight, 7 p.m. Going to launch. Congrats to Aiden for putting together a great job. I really enjoyed editing it. And like and subscribe. We're at 40,812 right now, so be nice to move a little bit towards 50,000. So help us out. Follow on all your favorite podcast platforms. And we'll see you after the game tomorrow. Yankees play at 1 o'clock once again. And Marcus Stroman on the mound. So Yanks trying to take a second game in this series. I'll see you next time.
Track, wall, see ya.
Hey, thanks for watching the podcast. I'm sure I mentioned this during the show, but just in case I didn't, be sure to like and subscribe. It's very important. It helps other fans find the channel, helps grow the Yankees fan community on YouTube. So go ahead and hit those buttons real quick for me if you get a chance, and we'll see you next time.